line, but a football advancement by the Eagles just beyond the Kansas City 20. No score, 1:43 to go first quarter. They're going to tempo offense.
Taylor Swift's life right now feels like a Netflix mashup of thriller, rom-com, and sports drama. First up, she's ramping up her security after a stalker scare that left fans seriously worried. Then, the New York Giants played the ultimate prank, teasing a Taylor cam before cutting to Lawrence Taylor puffing on a cigar. And while Travis Kelce is losing his cool on the sidelines, he's also dropping $70K on Patrick Mahomes' 30th birthday, with a little style input from Taylor herself. Next, the singer skipped Kelce's September 21st game against the Giants, but insiders say it's just album prep mode. Speaking of future plans, wedding bells are closer than expected, and finally, Swifties get hyped. The Showgirl release party film hits theaters October 3rd.
You know, we wanted this album to feel like really luxurious, and kind of as a nod to the luxury that a showgirl puts on when she's on stage. Meanwhile, like in the quick change room, she's like...
Taylor Swift is back in the headlines again, and for once it's not about Travis Kelce, her chart-smashing albums, or her billion-dollar Eras tour. This time, it's about something way darker, a stalker. Yep, the downside of being the most famous pop star on the planet is that some people just don't get the concept of boundaries. And Taylor, she's had enough. She's rolling out next-level security moves that sound more like a James Bond film than a red carpet entrance. Swift rolls up to an event recently, and fans are losing their minds, thinking she's about to debut some new glam look. But instead of another dazzling gown, it's a bulletproof screen. Yep, a whole protective barrier like she's headlining Coachella inside the Pope-mobile. Cue the online chatter. Half the internet swears it's just a publicity stunt, the other half is clutching their pearls, because apparently one super persistent fan has been harassing her to a scary level.
Eagles at the 24 of Kansas City. Handoff goes right side again, this time a nice push. As Dillon was the ball carrier, and a gain of 4 yards, Jared Tillery rotating in on the fence.
And it's not just a random troll spamming her DMs. The guy has a name, Brian Jason Wagner, and a seriously disturbing history. We're talking breaking into her Los Angeles home, claiming he's the father of their non-existent love child, and basically making every sane person say, "Dude, what?" It's giving creepy Lifetime movie vibes, only it's painfully real. Taylor's team isn't sugarcoating it either. Insiders say they're on high alert, calling it exhausting to deal with this kind of madness non-stop. Apparently, she's even willing to pull back on promo plans if her security squad decides the threats are getting too hot to handle. That's how serious things have gotten. And fans? They're fired up. Social media is basically a mix of outrage and fear. People are pointing out how stalking never gets taken seriously until it's too late, like horror stories of people begging for help but being brushed off. Others are comparing it to cases from decades ago, saying the system hasn't learned a thing. One fan summed it up best with the mood of the crowd: "This isn't scarf-level drama, it's legit terrifying." But speaking of drama, the New York Giants decided to troll half the planet by playing the ultimate prank on Sunday Night Football. Picture it, MetLife Stadium, packed to the brim, lights blazing, and the big screen suddenly flashes a Taylor cam. Swifties in the crowd lose their collective minds, clutching their friendship bracelets like they've just spotted Bigfoot in a sparkly bodysuit. The camera lingers on the backs of some blonde heads, the tension builds, and then bam! No Taylor Swift. Instead, up pops Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Fame linebacker, casually puffing on a cigar like he just won the lottery. Giant fans went wild, Swifties not so much. Kelce looked like a guy who left his phone on Do Not Disturb during an emergency call. The Chiefs stumbled into a red zone fumble, courtesy of Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis went full Hulk mode. He stormed over to head coach Andy Reid, yelled in his face, and even gave him a bump that nearly knocked him off balance. Yikes. Of course, social media ate it up faster than Swifties snagging concert tickets. Memes started flying, with people joking Reid needs a helmet on the sidelines just to deal with his tight end's tantrums. And let's be real, this isn't a one-off. Just last week, Kelce was spotted throwing another sideline fit after the Chiefs fell flat against the Eagles. Reid brushed it off, saying Travis just gets fired up. Translation? Yeah, my guy yells at me, but it's because he cares. Well, caring apparently also comes with a hefty price tag, because while Kelce is throwing sideline tantrums, he's also dropping serious coin on his QB bestie's birthday. Patrick Mahomes just turned the big 3-0, and Travis decided to mark the milestone by spending, a casual $70,000 on gifts. $70,000. Forget friendship bracelets, these two are clearly operating on if it ain't Rolex, don't bother terms. Insiders say Kelce went full Santa Claus mode, except instead of toys, he rolled in with not one but two luxury watches that Mahomes had been eyeing. Then he really turned the sentimentality dial by digging up rare bottles of wine from 1995, the actual year Mahomes was born. Nothing screams "I got you, bro" like sipping your birth year out of a crystal glass. And of course, Taylor Swift had her fingerprints all over this shopping spree. Word is she chimed in with the idea of adding some slick Ferragamo jackets to the mix. Because apparently Mahomes can't just throw touchdowns, he's got to look like he's stepping off a Milan runway while doing it. Honestly, it's giving power couple energy, but redirected into bromance form. The birthday bash vibes didn't stop there either. Their friendship has basically turned into a business empire. These two just launched a luxury steakhouse in downtown Kansas City called 1587 Prime, named after their jersey numbers because of course it is. And because timing is everything, the grand opening lined up perfectly with Mahomes' birthday week. Nothing says cheers to 30 like toasting rare wine in your own restaurant while wearing Ferragamo. Meanwhile, Mahomes' wife Brittany kept things a little more sentimental on Instagram, posting her gushy tribute and reminding the world that underneath all the flashy gifts and cigar lighting restaurant launches, there's still just a family guy turning 30. But let's be honest, if this is what happens at 30, I can't even imagine what Kelce and Swift are plotting for 40. Probably a yacht, a diamond-encrusted grill, and maybe a private island shaped like a football. In the meantime, though, Swift wasn't exactly front row cheering when Travis and the Chiefs rolled into MetLife to face the Giants on September 21st. Nope, the Taylor cam stayed empty because she gave that game a pass. Cue Swifties in New Jersey sighing harder than Mahomes' opponents when he scrambles out of the pocket. Now, before anyone starts clutching pearls about relationship drama, it wasn't that deep. Insiders say Taylor's basically in album launch lockdown, prepping for her Life of a Showgirl drop and its big October 3rd release party film. Translation? She's holed up like a college kid during finals week, except instead of Red Bull and ramen, it's bulletproof screens and Ferragamo jackets. Plus, word is her skipping away games isn't new. Last season, not a single one. Turns out she's more Arrowhead Stadium than MetLife, thanks to security concerns. Sources explained ages ago that if the venue isn't scouted like a military op, she's not showing up. Still, don't think she's any less hyped for Travis's season. People close to her have been saying she's buzzing about finally having time to be a proper football fiancé now that the Eras Tour wrapped. The plan? Show up for way more games this year. More nachos, more awkward high fives on the Jumbotron, more camera shots of her chugging soda. But apparently, while Taylor's skipping road games, she's not skipping wedding planning. Yep, the Swift-Kelce nuptials are coming sooner than anyone expected, like early next year soon. Forget the whole 3-year engagement thing. These two are sprinting down the aisle faster than Mahomes dodging a sack. Now don't picture some royal palace with golden swans and fireworks that spell out love story. Taylor's not going for a $20 million spectacle with drones carrying champagne. The vibe's more intimate. Think family, close friends, maybe a dog and a bow tie. It's less Bridgerton ball, more Pinterest chic backyard party, only with bodyguards instead of bouncers. That doesn't mean she's not having fun with it. Apparently Taylor's in full mood board mode, researching venues like she's about to drop a dissertation on fairy tale weddings. She's basically treating it like an album rollout, except this one comes with cake testing instead of lead singles. Insiders say she's loving every second, which makes sense because if anyone can turn floral arrangements into a Grammy-level production, it's her. And here's the kicker. Nearly every big-name designer on the planet has slid into her DMs begging to design the dress. Chanel, Dior, Valentino, you name it, they've pitched it. Taylor, though, hasn't picked anyone yet. Imagine being so famous that you can literally ghost couture houses. Legendary. As for Travis, he's keeping it simple. He wants meaningful over flashy, which fits his whole giant teddy bear who occasionally body slams his coach aesthetic. Together, they've reportedly aligned on skipping the circus and going straight for the vows. But while wedding bells are on the horizon, Taylor's also ringing up the box office. Yep, she's rolling out Taylor Swift, the official release party of a Showgirl, and it's basically a giant slumber party for Swifties, except instead of popcorn and pajamas, it's AMC popcorn buckets and friendship bracelets. The event drops October 3rd, clocking in at a neat 89 minutes, because of course Taylor's got a thing for symbolic numbers. Think of it as her legendary secret sessions, but on steroids and blasted across 540 AMC theaters, plus every other cinema chain that begged for a piece of the action. Swifties are about to turn multiplexes into karaoke bars, since AMC already gave the green light for singing and dancing mid-show. Translation: ushers, good luck. The only rule? Don't stand on the seats. Apparently even Taylor has limits. Fans aren't just getting a watch party, they're getting the debut of The Fate of Ophelia, her first single off the life of a Showgirl. Alongside that, there'll be lyric videos, behind-the-scenes footage, and Taylor spilling her creative process like it's late-night gossip at a sleepover. Basically, it's part documentary, part dance party, part group therapy session for anyone who thought they'd recovered from All Too Well. Tickets already dropped at exactly 12:12 p.m. because, duh, numerology is practically Taylor's co-writer at this point and are selling faster than Chiefs season passes. And if you're outside the US, no worries, over 100 countries are getting screenings too, from the UK to Australia. A few places will wait until later in October, but let's be real, Swifties have the patience of someone refreshing Ticketmaster during an Eras Tour presale. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.